For all my Niners fans out there watching this team going out to Green Bay this past Sunday in this Week 12 matchup, were you honestly expecting anything different? Were you honestly expecting a stunner as the Niners took on the Packers without their starting quarterback, without their starting edge rusher, without their starting left tackle, and without one of their starting corners in this matchup? But even then, when you knew the starting quarterback, Brock Purdy, was going to be out for this game with that right shoulder soreness, you knew it was over. You knew that the inevitable was going to happen. You knew what was about to take place. Like even before, even had he played in this game, with the way that the Niners were playing through all season long, with the failure to finish the story back in February, you knew what was going to come for this team in Green Bay. Smash, smash, smash. And that's exactly what the Packers did in this game. They smashed them, stacked them, and packed them. That's exactly what Green Bay did. Now, it took a little while. It took a little while for the Packers to do such, but they eventually did it in the fourth quarter. And what we got was a 38-10 beatdown at the hands of the Green Bay Packers to my San Francisco 49ers in an inevitable result. Yeah. Very few things to take, if anything, to take positive from this game. But I mean, it's a game that we got to talk about. It's a game that we have to, try to dissect and try to see if there's anything to take anything worthy from. Starting with my San Francisco 49ers, like I said, no Brock Purdy, no Nick Bosa, no Trent Williams, who tried to test the ankle before the game, but didn't work out, so he was ruled out. So, no Charvarius Ward. So, how did anyone else think this was going to go? Like, really, what were your realistic expectations for this game was going to be? No starting quarterback, no one on the pass rush to really help you out. The offensive line has been dramatically worsened with your left tackle out. No disrespect to Trent Williams, but the offensive line with him there is actually not that great. And then the secondary has been paper thin with or without Charvarius Ward. So, did it really make a difference? And yeah, with all those guys out, the many problems of the San Francisco 49ers were very highlighted in this game against a Packers team that, honestly, it didn't play its best game, but it certainly played with a lot more conviction than this Niners team, this beat-up Niners team. Yet, the Packers, even not on its best day, they played with more conviction. But let's start with the 49ers. Brandon Allen, he started out very poor as expected because, well, he was named the starting quarterback over Josh Dobbs for some reason. And even though with how poo-poo Brandon Allen played in the preseason, but he couldn't recognize the pressure coming from the pack, especially all throughout the first half. He is playing very poor, missed a lot of throws, ate at least a sack or two. But he did play a little better. I'll give him that. Towards the end of the first half, made some nice throws. In probably what was the Niners' one of two good drives all game long. He managed to get a touchdown to George Kittle on that one drive towards the end of the first half. So they gave him a little life. So you're looking at a 17-7 halftime score, and you thought, okay, they haven't gotten smashed yet by that point. And 10 points, okay, it seems a little feasible that they might try to pull off an impossible feat. Then you get to the third quarter, and Brandon Allen throws an interception midway through the third quarter. And you look at the stat sheet, say, oh, Brandon Allen sucks. Why did he throw an interception? But when you look at the performance and look at the highlight package, it actually wasn't his fault why he turned over the ball. Deebo Samuel, he let a catchable ball slip through his hands. And we'll talk a little bit more about Deebo Samuel when I touch on him more. Because, Deebo Samuel, he exactly didn't play well in this game. So, for all his faults, for all we've talked crap about Brandon Allen, if we're being honest, he didn't play too terribly, but not too exciting to move the needle for this game. And if he has to play next game, then we're still fucked. But it's expected at this point. Meanwhile, when you look at the running game for the 49ers, it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. Everyone, Kyle Shanahan was hoping and praying that the return of Dr. Christian McCaffrey, CMC, would spark things up, pal. But again, like I touched on a couple since his return, Kyle Shanahan continues to think like this is the Christian McCaffrey of old. You know, him coming back would rejuvenate the offense, pal. Would give that ruthless aggression back. But again, Christian McCaffrey is still not 100%. And yet he had no spark to this lifeless offense. The Packers defense was well and ready for Christian McCaffrey every which way. Now, he did have a few sparks here and there, but the Packers were basically ready for wherever he was going to go. And they really wanted Brandon Allen to test them in the air. Now, why Kyle Shanahan didn't go to Jordan Mason most of the time until like late in the third quarter and then late in the second half, I don't know. I'm not the head coach, but he should have tried out Jordan Mason, mix him in with CMC, and hell, even go with Isaac Guerendo. Like, why was Isaac Guerendo not had a presence felt at all in these last couple of games? Because Jordan Mason, he actually did better at times than Christian McCaffrey with some of those runs. I don't know why Kyle Shanahan is putting Jordan Mason and Guerendo back in the doghouse. So, very baffling. Better baffling, like, why Kyle Shanahan thinks that CMC is like, he's still the CMC of old. So, touching back on Deebo Samuel, he absolutely sucked in this game. I think he only had one catch, and he dropped multiple catchable balls, including the one I touched on earlier that got intercepted by Xavier McKinney. So, yeah, he's been sucking lately. He's been like basically a ghost for the Niners in these last couple of games. And then defensively, looking at that secondary, they got torched by Jordan Love. And this wasn't even Jordan Love's best game. And he was throwing it like very interceptable balls in this game. And then the secondary kept dropping it too. So for even then, the secondary continued to get torched all game long by Jordan Love in the mid-range game. And again, even if they had Charvarius Ward, it would have been no different. The pass rush, non-existent for the most part, but I felt like they did a little bit better in the third quarter, but yeah, still not enough. But for all of that, the wheels finally came off in the fourth quarter. I mean, they tried to make something out of it. It was only like, 14 points by when we got to the fourth quarter. But then again, the wheels fell off in the fourth quarter. Brandon Allen, he got strip sacked, and Green Bay finally scored on short field. And then Christian McCaffrey, like on the very next possession, he fumbles the ball right after. And then Green Bay scores again. And that's when the smashing, like I predicted, the smash, Hulk smash began for the 49ers. They got smashed, they got stacked, and they got packed out of Green Bay like we all predicted. And that's when it became official. So very quickly, let's look at it from the Packers side of things, because they really didn't need to do much in this game. And yeah, they didn't really take much for Jordan Love in this offense to tear apart the 49ers defense, or lack thereof often. Like Josh Jacobs was the story of this game, running through a 49ers front, or lack thereof, with ease. He was the star of this game, getting 3 touchdowns, 2 of them on short field. And Jordan Love, he had a very mixed game, but he basically tore apart that 49ers secondary through the short and mid-range passing game. And the main receiver of this game was Romeo Doubs. I believe he had to leave at one point during the game, but correct me if I'm wrong on that. But yeah, they were attacking this paper-thin secondary in the Yak game, basically doing what the Niners were doing to defenses, but now it's being used against them. They tried to go for the deep ball game at various points in the game to try and test that weak 49ers secondary, but the Niners defense, to their credit, they were ready for that, or Jordan Love just overshot them. Now, they did hit a lull in the third quarter and let the 49ers hang around a little too long, including Love throwing a bunch of near interceptions, which he really needs to clean up, by the way, because there were a lot of clear-cut interceptable balls, but the Niners defense, notably Renardo Green, he dropped them. They just dropped those balls. So, yeah, it could have been a completely different game had Jordan Love had those balls intercepted, but nonetheless, he managed to get away from that. And their own secondary also got torched at times by Brandon Allen, but again, it didn't really matter in the end because the Niners offense didn't finish their drives in the end zone and scoring points. So, all in all, the Packers, I guess they somewhat got their revenge from January, beating up, pulverizing, smashing, stacking, and packing this beat up Niners team. They got their revenge from January. And yeah, all I guess that really matters for them is getting this win, going on a short week, getting ready to face the Miami Dolphins on a Thanksgiving night and try to get a second straight win. So, yeah, that's pretty much, not too much to take away from this game, especially for the Niners fans. But again, if you're expecting anything less than this team getting smashed, then that's on you. This is literally on you for getting rage, angry that this Niners team couldn't get it done. But again, this is on you if you were expecting anything less than this team getting smashed in an expected game where they were supposed to be such. Like, literally nothing positive to take away from this game, because even if they were missing some key people for this game, everyone still expectedly sucked. Other than very few people, I would say George Kittle. He played with his heart, at least. Everyone else looked bored. Everyone else looked disinterested in playing this game. So, looking forward ahead, like any hopes that this team has for the playoffs, any hopes that they have in the NFC West for as close as it can be right now, when you look at how this team is playing right now, as December rolls around, like, they're pretty much done. They're pretty much done, okay? Like, you can get all delusional all you want, and you can call me as delusional as you want, and like, you're wrong next month. But the way that this team is playing right now, and how beat up they are, it's not happening, pal. So, looking ahead to next week against the Buffalo Bills, in Buffalo, under the bright lights of Sunday night, if you're still delusional in thinking that the season is not over, then next week's game against Buffalo will be your reality check. So, next week I will press the damn guarantee button that it'll be another smashing that these Niners will have, this time at the hands of Josh Allen and the red-hot Buffalo Bills. The Bills will be well-rested, coming off their bye week, and coming off a big win against Patrick Mahomes and the previously undefeated Kansas City Chiefs. So they're going to have a lot of momentum on their side. They're playing very well. And if you thought Josh Jacobs was a big running threat for the against this 49ers paper-thin defense, just you wait. James Cook, and especially Josh Allen, will torch this team on the ground. So, you ready to see 60 minutes of that, pal? Oh boy. But we'll talk about that closer to the game when we do our preview for that. But the Packers smash, stack, and pack this beat up Niners team 38-10 in week 12 as expected. And let me know your thoughts on this loss as the Niners dropped to 5-6 in the 2024 campaign, as the failure to finish the story rolls on. It rolls on with its consequences. But until we talk about the 49ers again, keep the lasagna very cold in the fridge with your takes on the world of sports. Happy Thanksgiving week to you all. And until I see you, when I see you in the next one, peace out.